Tina Fey is one of the most successful comedy writers and actresses working in the industry today. She's carved out her place in history by tirelessly and passionately working her way through such notable improv institutions as the Second City and Improv Olympic. In 1997, she landed a gig as writer at Saturday Night Live, and from there her career exploded. Soon she took over the role of head writer and found her national fame in front of the camera as co-anchor of Weekend Update. In 2006, Tina left SNL to create, write, and star in the critically acclaimed 30 Rock, as well as nurture a growing movie career. It was during the 2008 presidential campaign season that Tina Fey became a household name with her no-holds-barred impersonation of then-presidential candidate Sarah Palin. During her career, Tina has won 2 Screen Actors Guild Awards, 5 Writers Guild Association Awards, 8 Emmy Awards, 3 Golden Globes, and the highest honor a comedian can receive, the coveted Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. Just as it seemed Tina Fey had conquered the comedy world, she once again surprised critics and fans alike with the release of her 2011 autobiography entitled Bossy Pants. The book opened at the top of the New York Times bestseller list and remained there for 5 weeks upon its release. Due to the outstanding success of Bossy Pants, Tina has created a special live event entitled Bossy Pants, the Not Quite Musical. The event will be a one-woman show starring Tina based off of the book. This one-night-only engagement will provide a hilarious and autobiographic look into the life and career of a comedy icon. The show will take place in the famed Radio City Music Hall in the heart of New York City. This 5,900-seat performance venue has a rich history of hosting similar shows, and as Tina puts it, once you've played Radio City, you know you've made it. This achievement of being able to play in such an illustrious venue parallels the overall theme of her book and her show. From a logistical standpoint, Radio City Music Hall has the capacity needed to host such an event with a maximum seating capacity of nearly 6,000. Furthermore, the venue boasts 5 specific areas perfect for hosting banquets and parties. As part of our event, there will be a VIP after party in the beautiful first-floor mezzanine of Radio City immediately after the show. Finally, Tina is a wife, the mother of 2 small children, and lives in Manhattan, so booking a venue in the city was key to minimizing the amount of time that she would spend away from her family. In an attempt to gain more publicity and attention for Bossy Pants, the Not Quite Musical, we've arranged for 3 special appearances in addition to the show itself. Tina will start her day with a trip to NBC Studios, where she will appear on The Today Show and be interviewed by Matt Lauer. After a quick breakfast at one of Tina's favorite Gramercy Park restaurants, we will head to the famous Strand bookstore, where Tina will give a brief talk about Bossy Pants and host a book signing for those in attendance. The Strand bookstore is a landmark within the literary world and often hosts such events throughout the year. After the book signing, Tina and myself will relocate to Radio City Music Hall for the dress rehearsal and final walkthrough in preparation for the night's performance. This will be the last opportunity to work out any kinks in the workflow of the videotaping or any other technical aspects of the show. Once rehearsal is finished, Tina will retire to her dressing room for dinner, some time with her family, and some much-needed relaxation before the show. Meanwhile, I'll be walking through the final details with the video production company that has been hired to produce a DVD and Blu-ray of the event. Also, this will be the time for me to put out any fires that may creep up as showtime nears. 2 hours before Tina hits the stage, she'll be moved into hair, makeup, and wardrobe. There's a lot of pressure performing in a one-woman show in front of such a large audience, so it will be vital for me to allow her to have enough time to warm up and focus with no interruptions. Finally, at 9 p.m., lights go up and Tina takes the stage. Once the show is over, VIP guests will adjourn to the first-floor mezzanine as Tina returns to her dressing room to get ready for the party. Once the party is over, and with a long day behind her, a hired limo will drive Tina back to her Manhattan apartment. Throughout the day, Tina will have many demands placed on her talent and her time. In order for her to perform at her best and be as comfortable as possible, there are several requirements or riders that are a part of her contract within each venue. These riders range in magnitude, from a Starbucks Cafe Americano waiting for her in the limo, to a complete meal and linens provided for her in the Radio City Music Hall dressing room. Yet they all help to ensure that Tina will be on top of her game. At the end of the night, we expect to bring in a net profit of over $301,000. This estimate is based on several deals I've negotiated on Tina's behalf, including a 50% cut of all DVD sales with a gross estimate of 50,000 discs sold. With regards to the book signing, Strand Bookstores agreed to host the signing in exchange for 20% of sales on the day. And finally, Radio City Music Hall has agreed to a rate of $10,000 and an additional 30% of ticket sales to cover the venue rental. As with any production of this scale, there's a certain element of risk involved for both the artist and the financial backers. Because of this inherent risk, we've done the best we can to predict each risk and develop an action plan should an adverse situation arise. Though not entirely avoidable, the impact of problems, such as traffic making us late to the Today Show, lower than expected ticket sales, or technical malfunctions, can be lessened with the proper pre-planning. After putting together this live event, it's become very clear that the role of an artist manager is much larger than I previously thought. There is an immense amount of detail and pre-planning and research involved in being a successful manager. Just when you think you have every angle covered, a vendor or a sponsor or the venue will throw a surprise right in the face of your production. That's not the artist's job to deal with these distractions and details. It is very much your place as manager to make sure that everything happens so that your artists can do what they do best. If I had to point out one main thing that I took from this experience, it's that you can never pre-plan enough and that you must always be going over the details again and again.